aim of IOPWE is to bring about global talent and for them to share their experiences with our young girls, so that our young girls can learn from their experiences and can replicate their success globally. There are two things. Firstly, now with the digital world, with all this media and web, there is no divide now, because MIT has an open source policy for all their knowledge. So, but you can easily download anything that is taught in MIT anywhere in the world, and they're ready to share information very easily. So there is no divide. So you cannot say that a Pakistani woman engineer does not have access to what is being taught in US, in the best universities of US, or in Japan, or in Australia, anywhere in the world, because that has disappeared with the technology. And secondly, this is common to all male-dominated industries. I've worked in engineering, I've worked in finance, that whenever you are working in a male-dominated industry, there are certain characteristics, because men tend to be very competitive and they tend to be very aggressive, whereas women tend to cooperate, tend to be friendly, tend to be relationship oriented. So there's always a conflict, and this is worldwide. This is worldwide. Anywhere in the world you go, you will find the same dynamic, and the woman mostly has to put in double the effort, has to achieve double the amount to have the same equal footing as men. That's the psyche everywhere. But having said that, women multitask better, and women become good managers for complex situations, and women are more socially oriented, and women bring a different perspective to the group dynamics. So they are an important part of the team. So one cannot ignore them, because they bring a very different perspective. And one interesting thing is that the Dean of Engineering School of MIT said that in the 21st century, the focus of engineering will be social sciences. Like in the 20th century, we focused on making consumer appliances that could improve our productivity, like telecom and other things. But in 21st century, we would be solution oriented. Like we would be focused on environment, we would be focused on alternative energy. So this is very much towards a woman's psyche, because females tend to pick up things that have a social impact. Even in investments, they pick up investments that have a social impact. So they are more ethical and they're more socially oriented. That's the way their psyche is. So it's good. 21st century, I think, is good for female engineers. I think they will flourish. And in MIT, 50% of the engineering students are females. Well, you have to follow your passion, Anywhere you have your passion, you will excel. Whether it is any field, the passion has to be there. If you are passionate about engineering, if you are passionate about computer sciences, if you are passionate about economics, so go for it. Like anywhere, wherever you have the passion, you will excel. So it is immaterial how tough the environment is or how easy the environment is. But if you don't have the passion, even if you are given things for free, you will not take them. So you will not have. So anywhere you have the passion, go for it. So this is a natural cycle of development. Like in the West, it was in 50s and 60s when females put in long hours, when they had to face a glass ceiling, and they stood up, they faced it, they broke the glass ceiling, and they became partners in McKinsey and EVPs in IBM, and so this is a cycle. And then the next generation, it was easy for the next generation because people were used to strong-headed women, hard-working, strong-headed, intelligent women. But this is just a cycle where every society goes. And freedom for women is a new thing. It was not there 100 years ago. Even in the early 1920s and 1930s, pre-Second World War, most of the women were housewives, or if they worked, they were not given intelligent jobs. And even today in Japan, it's a male-dominated culture, So it's the same everywhere, you know, and it's the cycle that the society goes through. So one generation of women break the glass ceiling, they work hard, they stand up, they face all the obstacles, they break the glass ceiling, and then it becomes easy for the generations to come. So it's a cycle, and people have to stand up. Well, actually, you know, the common issue with the female worker is work-life balance, because a woman has to take care of the family also. So my advice to all the women and all to decision makers is that please do not make this issue of work-life balance out of proportion. Firstly, it's all about time management as far as the woman is concerned, and it's also getting support. A working woman should have support, like she should have servants at home to help her with her kids, to help her with her household work. And the employer should also be a little flexible with the timings, or if she wants to work at home. Now there's a lot of technology. So for the women, my advice would be that get support at home, but please do work. Like, you may not become a CEO of a company, but please do work 10 hours a day and get some salary and have your own space where you have your own little thing to do. And for the decision makers, like women can leave work for a certain number of years when the children are young, and then they need to get back to the workforce after a gap of 3-4 years. So the workers should not be put off by that, you know. Employers should accommodate the female workers, because women bring a different perspective. And for creativity, we need different perspective. And if you don't have creativity at work, it's very difficult to innovate and to keep at the edge of your company. I'm Wajiha Malik. You're watching me on CIO Studio.